You're watching Fugitive Redeye, and welcome to another TV show review. This is part of Rabid Redeye Reviews, a series we started over on Corbin's channel with his Yorotsuki Doji review, and we're continuing it on my channel. We're going to variate, but we'll use the collab feature, and then I'll make a playlist on both of our channels for it as well, but this will also obviously go on my TV show reviews playlist. Today we're going to be reviewing Wondershosen, which we recently watched through on the server. And it's from the same people who did Xavier Renegade Angel, which we also watched on the server, and I also need to review, but haven't gotten around to yet. This show was the first show that PFFR did, the company that did Xavier Renegade Angel, and it definitely shows that it was their first show.
This is not as good as Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier's way better. Like, here's the thing, Wondershosen is great. Like, Wondershosen is, like, chaotic and also, like, evil and terrible in a lot of ways.
Well, the first season, I think, is a masterpiece.
Yeah, the first season was great. I loved the first season. Even Patience I thought was funny, because, like, the thing about this show's only 16 episodes long. Like, they have 3 of the episodes that are time wasters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
fuck you episodes.
Yeah, basically episodes that are like, fuck you, audience, go to hell. And the whole point of this show, it's like a parody of, like, kids shows, and it's very chaotic and crazy, and it's like Corbin kept saying during the first season that, this is what, like, what was it, Was it $1 Million Extreme or was it World Peace? I forget what the name was.
Yeah, World Peace is the show, I think. I can't remember.
Or no, yeah, I think... Either way, Sam Hyde's Adult Swim show, whatever it was called. He's saying this is what that wishes it was.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the first season, honestly, went, like, way more extreme than $1 Million Extreme Presents World Peace. That's the full title, I think.
Okay.
Because, like, Sam Hyde could barely even get away with, like, the joke where he's like, Jews rock. Like, that was too offensive. And the first season of Wondershosen goes way further than that when it comes to, like, Nazi dog whistle, like, whatever you can interpret shit. Like, it's just explicit, like the first season feels like it could be made by Sam Hyde. Right. The second season is, like, just obvious communist propaganda, and like both seasons are connected, and like clearly it's like a hate of humanity almost.
Yeah.
Or not almost, like, obviously.
Yeah.
But the second season was way more leftist shit. Absolutely. And way more like fuck you old people.
Yeah. And the show itself had, like, a man on the street segments, which tend to be the best. Like, they had 2 of them that were pretty that were pretty regular. There was Clarence's movies, where he'd just go out and irritate people on the street. And then there was Beat Kids, which is where they'd have, like, kids going out and, like, interviewing
Kids on the
people.
Beat Kids.
Yeah. It's those were some of the best moments. The animations, I think, were hit or miss. Some of them were fucking awesome and really funny, and other ones are kind of gross and bad.
Yeah, there's too many ones that are, like, trying to be gross out, like, where I'm like, is this fucking, what the hell is that?
Where the dead go to die?
Yeah, where the dead go to die. Is this where the dead go
to die? There's, like, I didn't like OBGYN, or DOG-OBGYN, the dog that would, like, always, like, eat the babies.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that one was gross. I liked that No Shuggy one, though. That was really funny.
No Shuggy. Funniest stuff, though, is with the puppets and on the street. Like, anything on the street and with the puppets, I liked.
Yeah, because they have, like, this cast of, like, Sesame Street parody characters, and, like, there's ones that are, like, obvious nods towards, like, Clarence is obviously supposed to be, like, Kermit.
It's also, like, what's that one called that has, where they all dance? Like, I can't remember what it is, but there's a kid's show. It's like, oh, Yo Gabba Gabba or whatever.
Yeah, I could see that. I think we should also watch Crank Yankers sometime soon, so you can see another show that kind of does a similar... Like, it's different because, you know, it's all prank calls, but it's also, like, one of those adult versions of, like, kid puppet shows.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this show is one of the most unhinged shows I've ever seen, if not the most unhinged.
No, this is added to the collection of, like, adult Sesame Street or Muppets parody things, like Meet the Feebles and that awful...
Yeah, Happy Time
movie. What was it called? Happy Time Murders.
It's funny, because, like, Edgar always goes on about Wondershosen and Happy Time Murders and shit like that, and he always says, like, shit like, hot take, Happy Time Murders is a kid show, because Edgar's, like, retarded and says, like, really stupid stuff. Like,
if Wondershosen is not a kid show, why do they say kid show? In the beginning?
I mean, that's basically Edgar's logic. Like, Edgar literally said, Edgar's like, I'd show this to my kids, and I'm like, you should be locked up.
Kids,
like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we gotta worry about Edgar having kids, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, another thing with this show is, as I was saying earlier, there's 3 Time Waster episodes. The first one is called Patience, where the entire thing is just dragging on and just saying, patience, 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 and that's like the whole thing. And I will say, with that one, when we were watching it, I'm like, okay, I can appreciate the commitment to the bit. That was kind of funny, right? And that was the season 1 finale. It also, it rewinds, plays the entire episode in reverse, and then plays an entirely new mini-episode at the end.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. And then we get to season 2, and they introduce a segment in season 2 during one episode called Horse Apples. And Horse Apples is the worst
funniest part of the show.
It's the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. I fucking hate Horse Apples. It's fucking terrible. And when it was one segment on one episode, I was like, okay, that's one thing. But then one of the other 2 time-wasting episodes, which is the episode before last, is an entire fucking episode of Horse Apples. So it's 20 minutes of, really gross, really bad, generic and repetitive redneck jokes, where they have, just a bunch of generic, rednecks are dumb. Which, granted, rednecks eat that shit up. They're retarded. I guarantee you there's some redneck out there that their favorite fucking episode is Horse Apples. And it's so bad, and it's a bunch of generic, obvious, terrible social commentary.
Because, rednecks love shit like Honey Boo Boo and fucking anything that's, making fun of them.
Yeah. And, it's also just really gross, and again, it's repetitive. If it was a couple of jokes here and there, that'd be one thing, right? But, it's just... incest, goo 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 goo.
Yeah, really.
I hated it.
There was a couple good jokes, but
you can't
not
even really
to warrant any of it.
You can't even really pick up on the good jokes though, because you've been beaten over the head so long with all the fake accents and the annoying fucking jokes that are just gross. That the good ones you miss it because it's there's so much terribleness about everything about it.
Yeah, it is just it is literally just to annoy the audience. And that's it. They don't even trying to make you laugh, and it's and that's what I and that itself is an Andy Kaufman thing, I guess. But it's why are you I don't know. I just think it's kind of stupid to make a show that's just a fuck you to the audience.
Yeah.
Just the whole point is to annoy its own audience, and it doesn't really need to exist.
And granted, you can do that and make it work. I mean, look, Takeshi's Challenge was a fuck you to gamers, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's different. That actually
at least it's a challenge.
Yeah, and that has charm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But Wondershosen is purposefully trying to be grating.
And then the last episode was the other time waster of the 3, and I liked it better than Horse Apples, obviously. But I will say it was kind of repetitive, and there wasn't a lot of substance. It was clearly a very lazy episode because the entire episode was basically Surveillance Cameraman, which, granted, I love Surveillance Cameraman bits, so I did enjoy it, although the people didn't react a lot. The ones that reacted were awesome, the guy that was, chasing him. He's like, get that camera out of my face. He's like, you're making a conscious decision. You're walking towards the camera. I'm walking away. Your body is being pulled in by, a magnetic force to the camera, which you are verbally trying to repel.
Yeah, it was really funny. And they were recording this one poor guy that actually was trying to be tell a story and be entertaining, but they put loud music over him and you can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, but that last episode is better. I still wouldn't call it one of the best ones, but it was at least funny. I definitely think the show is best in its first season. The first season's fucking awesome. Legitimately, there wasn't a single bad episode of the first season, except, I guess, Patience. You could say Patience was, the bad one, but even then, that was just kind of that was, a one-off, that's fine. Having one episode that's just to waste your time and shit, that's kind of funny.
I also liked when the one kid's hey, greatest generation, thank you for Acid Rain, and the lady's how dare you?
Yeah. Which, granted, that was in season 2, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wondershosen was fun. I definitely don't think it has a fucking... It can't even come close to holding a candle to Xavier. Xavier is so much funnier.
Yeah. Wondershosen could have been, way better, but they...
I'll tell you this. If we're comparing Season 1 to Xavier, it's actually close. Season 1 Wondershosen is actually, on par, I would say.
Yeah, but in Season 2, it feels like they didn't, try as hard at all.
I'll give them this. At least they were, they were willing to take risks and be experimental, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that it's good.
I also wonder if Season 2 is reactionary against the first season because it didn't like its own audience or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. But you know, it is fun. I do like the show quite a bit. I still think Season 2 had a lot of good... Like, most of Season 2 was good, even if it did have kind of a much more obvious, like, leftist fucking narrative.
Because it felt like Season 2 was punishing you for thinking the first one was funny.
I mean, I could maybe see that. I don't know that I'd go quite to that conclusion, but I could see where you would maybe get that conclusion. But overall, yeah, it is fun. I will be buying it because I did enjoy it. But Season 2 is definitely not as good as Season 1.
Yeah. Season 1 was... I'd say Season 1 was a masterpiece.
All right. Well, guys, that's this episode of Rabid Redeye Reviews. And I'll see you next time. Toodles.